So there are three signs that kind of tell whether you have a real business or do you just have a high paying side hustle. The first one is, can you actually take a few days off of your business without things going into meltdown, right? Do you have systems in place? Do you have hires in place that can actually handle things? The second thing is, can you essentially sign and onboard new clients without you having to touch anything? You can't message anyone. You can't touch anyone. Pause. You can't hop on any calls with anyone. And you literally just cannot do any work. Is that possible? Can your client and can your business function without you? And the third sign is, can you exit your business in 5 or 10 years? Is it an exitable asset? Is it something that is unique about you that you can actually exit? Now, if you answered no to any one of these three questions, well, you do not have a real business. You just have a very high paying side hustle. So here's how I went from being a very high paid side hustle and a guy who was just running stuff for clients, and I turned it into an actual real business that I can actually exit anytime that I would want to. Obviously, there's a lot of contingencies to that, but you kind of get the idea, you get the principle. The first thing that I did is I made sure to reduce my involvement in the business as much as possible. Now, a lot of people, especially people in the info space, and I don't blame you guys, by the way, the education that you've received from all of the current mentors, it's absolutely dog shit. Right? It actually doesn't help you at all, and it actually harms you. And you find that a lot of these people don't understand how to operate real businesses. You don't know the fundamentals of marketing. You don't know all this stuff. But essentially, the first thing that I did was essentially systemize everything that I was doing. Now, you have the wrong idea about systems. You think that systems is having this Notion SOP dashboard thing that you have, and you're just basically operating based on that. But that's not what systems are. Systems are basically scalable. What I mean by scalable is, imagine you had 100 clients that show up tomorrow to your business. Can you basically hire enough people in time to be able to service all 100 clients efficiently at the same quality that you're servicing your current clients right now? Most people will be like, no, whatever, right? Especially if it's like a really higher ticket item. Obviously, if it's a low ticket digital product, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about like the high ticket stuff, the stuff that you actually get paid on, right? Maybe you're making a lot of money with a lower ticket product, but that's not who I'm talking to right now. I'm talking to the people who are out here selling high ticket services or products, and they're just stuck doing a lot of the delivery on it themselves. And then not only do you have to balance the delivery aspect of things, you also have to balance the sales aspect of things. Maybe you're managing your sales team. Maybe you have to hop on sales calls yourself, which is even worse. And then on top of that, you have the acquisition. So maybe you're sat here ideating the content or scripting the ads yourself or scripting the content yourself. Then you have to film it. Then you maybe have to edit it, or maybe you have to manage an editor, tell them about all the revisions that you want. And so there's a lot of friction. There's a lot of work that is put into place. So then you start to realize, okay, well, for me to service one client to get paid at the end of the month, I'm spending all of these hours. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was getting good clients that, are paying me very hefty amounts of like retainers and rev share because I'm really good at what I do. And what ended up happening was I was just spending so much time and effort servicing each one of these clients, and I was just exhausted. I was working 13, 14 hours days. And on top of that, I had employees. I had people that I was working with. I had operations managers. I had all these like really good people who were really skillful, but I was just a bad leader. I couldn't direct them properly. And the reason is because of a lack of systems. I don't have real systems. So a real system basically means that you are able to just be completely hands-off with this one particular task. The mistake that most people do, they take a big task, like for example, content, and they just give it to one person, or they give it to an agency or a team of people, and it's like, yeah, you guys go ahead and figure it out. That's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to break it down to the smallest, simplest little tasks possible, and then you basically automate and delegate whatever you can. And the rest is what you have to do. And so the rule of thumb is this. I tell all of my clients and all of my students, I tell them, guys, the only thing that you cannot automate or delegate is your thinking, because you want to go from being and getting paid for the work that you do, the deliverable that you do. Because if you're competing on deliverable, this is something that I need you to understand very clearly. If you're competing on deliverable, then you can always get beat. Someone would be able to do it faster or cheaper or better. And that's not really what the whole point is. You're not a worker, right? You want to basically help people with their businesses or their lives. You want to come in as an expert. And so you need to transition from getting paid for the work that you do into the thinking that you do. Your thinking process, your thinking, the way that you think, the way you approach problems. That is what you want to get paid for. Now, everything else in the process should be automated, should be delegated, given to someone else. Now, the second mistake people do is when they look at hiring, they think, okay, I'm going to hire some people. And what they do is they do some simple first grade math. And they're like, if a client pays me $1,000 and I work 10 hours, that means my hourly rate is $100. That means if I can hire someone to do client work for less than $100, I'm profiting. Unfortunately, that is not how that works, because the effective rate basically means that you can free up an hour by paying this guy, let's just say $50, and you're able to take that hour and actually make $100 with it. But in reality, that isn't the case because your actual hour, it varies, right? An hour of like outreaching or making content or recording ads and launching ads to get more clients is not the same as an hour of running sales calls or like onboarding calls with people, right? It's not the same. It's not worth the same. No way is it worth the same. So before you go ahead and make that math, you need to take into consideration what actually is, where is your time actually going? And what is the thing that generates you the most ROI? If you don't have step one, which is the step of, okay, I have systems in place, I am automating, delegating everything, and then right? You're going ahead and trying to hire people. If you don't have that step in place, well, you're just going to hire them. They're not going to know what exactly to do. And after you hire them, you don't know what you're going to do, right? And so you're just kind of free, which is good. It's not a bad thing, but you're free in a bad way because you're not making money from being this free. It's not like, your system's running on autopilot. No, it's just, you're kind of stuck there. And that's what the mistake happens. So you need to take a look at where is me spending my most amount of time. That could be writing copy or ideation for different angles about content or ads or funnels or any of this stuff, right? That's where the highest ROI tasks is. You need to focus on the highest ROI tasks. And the third thing that I'll tell you to do is fucking streamline. And the third thing for you to actually be able to build a real business is to streamline your communications. I know it sounds so stupid and simple and whatever, but it's like literally, I make sure that I literally do not get notifications on my phone unless it's absolutely crucial and important. If the business is actually like dying and everything's like something is crazy going on, that's only when I'm getting a Slack message or a WhatsApp message or a call. Other than that, I don't communicate with people randomly on my phone. There's communication slots that I have adjusted for clients, for my team members, and that's it. And I only talk to the most important team members. I don't have to be on calls 24/7. This is also another thing that I see a lot of you guys doing wrong, which is you're on calls 24/7. And when I ask you, hey, what are you busy doing? You're like, oh, I have calls all day. It's like, what are these calls for? The only time that you should be hopping on calls is if it's going to make you money and it's a client, or it is one of your team members who needs your expertise, your thinking to do something. If your team members, and I'll explain this very briefly, there's 3 types of teams, and I can make a whole nother video about this. Let me know if down in the description down below, guys, not in the description, the comments down below, if you'd like me to make a video about this. But there are team members, there are A team members, A players, there's B players, and then there's C players. A players who are just literally, they can replace you, right? Not in that sense, but like they take initiative, they go ahead and actually do stuff without you having to ask them. And they literally treat the business like their own. B players are essentially A players in training. So they have the potential to do that. They want to do that, but they just might not have the skills just yet. And so these guys are worth investing into and actually developing, spending time, giving them more bonuses, et cetera, et cetera. The third kind is the C players, and these are the guys who will just drag your whole organization and business down. So those are the guys who are only there for the paycheck. I want you to comment down below, guys, how many C players have you ever hired in your lifetime? I remember I hired my first C player and it was just hell because I really needed someone to help me on my team, but the just energy wasn't there. And I ended up losing so much more clients than if I was just to handle it myself and just take the time to go ahead and service this client. It was a funny story, but it was definitely a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. And I'm so obviously glad that I learned it this young of an age rather than having to learn it down the line. But hey, that's why I'm sharing this lesson with you guys right now. So those were the 3 things. If you guys enjoyed this kind of video, then go ahead and watch this video like right here.